Alrighty, friends, we are back. It's your favorite podcast show of the week. This is Location Weekly. It's episode number 691, and we are recording live on October the 14th. Um, for those of you who are in Canada, like I am, it is Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving here. So happy Thanksgiving to all of our fellow Canadians. Aubriana, how are you doing?
I'm good. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We are starting to see fall here in New York. It's beautiful. The weather's gorgeous. I think that the storm wasn't as bad as anticipated. I have some family that in Tampa that lost their homes, but they are all safe and alive, and many that really lucked out. And so I'm feeling grateful for that. But yeah, it's just like, busy fall season, just got off of ad week. You're heading to Retail Loco. Here we
Yes.
go.
Yes, we are like a week out now, just over a week out from Retail Loco in Atlanta, our LBMA conference. So it will be a really a good one, different venue. Again, we're now this year hosting it at Ponce City Market,
An
uh,
amazing
which is
venue.
kind of
Yes.
cool. So we're excited about that. We've got some new speakers from like Papa John's and Kroger, and there's a gentleman from Tropical Smoothie that was, and a bunch of interesting things. JLL
Mhm.
speaking on the real estate side, so it'll be fun. It'll be a good event. So we're excited about that. Not too late to get a ticket if you don't have one. Just reach out to Rihanna or I. We can to point you in the right direction, or just go to thelbma.org and click on events, and you'll see information there. Um, yeah, so that's the 20 second and 23rd. Is that right? Did I say? Let me just double check that. Yes, 22nd, 23rd, Tuesday, Wednesday. In my
Don't
mind,
have
I'm like, is it 23, 24? No, it's 22, 23. So we're good. Yeah, so that's about it.
All
Four stories
right.
to go. So I'll let you kick us off.
Let's jump in. Okay, caper carts. If you're not familiar, caper carts, they're just like a shopping cart, but they apparently help you skip the checkout line, save you money while you shop, find savings. They track your total spend on the touch screen. You can bag items as you shop. And this is an Instacart offering, okay? So these carts are currently available at Kroger, Schnucks, and ShopRite right now. And now they've added gamification capabilities that are really focused on in-store rewards to their Caper cards. All right. I'm going to cover the details and then I'm going to give some feedback on this. All right. Some of the features are like flash deals. So, for example, customers can participate in a treasure hunt while they're shopping, right? So they could follow a map of the store, keep an eye out for flash deals while they're shopping. They can discover new products, obviously, or go back to old favorites. Also getting rewards, so repeat visits, they can earn credits. Think of like getting $10 off your next visit while they're doing a shopping streak or 3 shops within a month with a Caper Cart. Another feature is credits for coupon clipping. So you can get some personalized digital coupons on Caper Cart. They could receive credits, customers can receive credits. They could be like $5 at the end of their shop. Another very, pertinent one to this podcast is some location-based coupons. So customers using Caper Carts can be alerted to nearby deals and discounts. So, like as they shop each aisle, so think about you're going down the cereal aisle, maybe you get a specific cereal offering. And then in the future, they're looking to tailor these to specific customers based on previously purchased items and really, opening up, I think, opportunities for CPG brands to create that strong first impression when customers are shopping on those relevant aisles. I got that word out. Recent survey that they gave, they said 83% of consumers are receptive to using these smart cards. 50% are interested in using AI to find the best deals. A lot of like AI specific questions. 30% of consumers want assistance while browsing. These Caper cards are powered by NVIDIA Jetson, and they're equipped with AI cameras, sensors, built-in scale, which all like work together to recognize what items are on the shelves. Okay, there's a lot of features baked in here. There's a lot going on. I think that getting assistance while you're shopping, I think is great. Like sometimes you're in a new store and you want to be able to find a specific item. So I think being able to locate that without having to find someone who works there is a great feature. I like the coupon idea of just like rewarding you for, your shopping and maybe alerting you to new items. I kind of draw the line with the gamification, honestly. I think like about my shopping behaviors, and I would love to hear from people who shop for their household if I'm wrong here. But when I get into a store, like I want to get in and get out. I don't want to play a game. My kids, like kids these days are into YouTube and it's always like, let's do a 24-hour challenge. Let's do a 10-item challenge. I'm like, I don't want to do a challenge. My challenge is like getting out of the store without you asking for 1,000 things. That's the challenge. So I don't need any more further gamification. I mean, if we're gonna play, what was that like show, the shopper show, or oh my gosh, where you would like have to run through the store and try to get like all these
Oh,
items. What was it?
yeah, I know
It'll
the
come
I
to
know the one
us.
you're talking about.
Yes. Like if it's
Yes.
for money, count me in, right? But for like a $10 coupon, no, like my brain is already at capacity. I think it's too much. So that's my feedback and my opinion. I think there's some great features. I think there's some kind of unusable ones. But yeah, what do you think about all this?
So obviously, I mean, I love that they're doing the location-based in aisle offers and alerts. I mean, it's kind of funny to like read and hear about this story because 10 years ago in the LBMA, we were talking about beacons in the stores and in the aisles and pushing an ad for Pepsi when you walk by Coke and, all of these things, right? So it's kind of like what's, old is new again in my way of looking at this. But I think it makes sense that it's integrated into, the shopping carts that you're using throughout the store. I like the in-aisle type of offering around that, and the nearby, sort of location elements of that. And from a rewards point of view, I think, there's also a little bit of, again, going back to old concepts, the shop kick model of, trying to drive traffic around different aisles and different departments and different kinds of things within a store. And the more you do that, the more points you earn and rewards you get. And, so I think there's something there in this. And the next story we'll talk about is kind of has some similar vibes to it as well. But yeah, I'm supportive of that. The gamification part, I don't know. I was kind of actually, before you said what you said, I was like, I don't know, maybe Aubrey don't like this. Maybe like, I can remember going back to having my little kids, when they were little and, having them sit in the cart and, trying to entertain them. And maybe if there was some gamification element to it, the kid would be entertained. I don't know. Right. So
Okay, you're changing my mind. You're changing my mind. If there's like a challenge that I can do with my kids, by the way, the
yeah,
show is Supermarket Sweep. If I could do a supermarket sweep with my kids and there's a challenge and it actually correlates with the things I need to buy and not the
yeah,
things I'm asking to buy, like, yes, now
yeah,
now I'm invested. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I don't have to think and you're giving me like, okay, I can give you
Yeah, if
my
you're entertaining my kids and I'm benefiting from it in terms of what I'm getting deals on the things I need, then yeah, I think it makes sense. So anyhow, overall, I like it. It's a good story. It's a good combo of tech. And I could see this rolling out. I mean, I could even see this, not that you necessarily have shopping carts per se, but like, Home Depot or Lowe's type of environment where, like you could try to drive more incremental basket,
yeah.
by, hey, there's an offer over in aisle three. Why don't you head over there? Like that kind of thing, I think is interesting. As an idea to just increase basket size. So I like it.
It cannot be like invasive to the shopping experience. It has to be complimentary. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to go try this.
All right, there you go. So let's take this concept that we just talked about now. Let's go across the pond for our second story to Tesco in the UK. Obviously, big retail chain over there. And they are now also serving location-based ads within the supermarket environment. This is coming out of, they have a division called Tesco Media and Insights Platform. It's connected to their in-store scan and shop, devices that they have. And essentially very similar to what we just described, so instead of on a cart, it's this sort of handheld device that you have, or basket, I guess, kind of thing. And yeah, as you walk around and you say go to the frozen food aisle with your scan and shop device, you get an offer displayed on the screen on that device for whatever promotion's running. So again, in aisle, location based offers, they know where you are, and again, like I look at this and I go, wow, like, 10 years ago we were talking about beacons in every aisle, and now here we are again doing this, and I think it's super fascinating to see the rebirth of these things. A couple of years ago with COVID, it was the return of the QR code, and now I'm feeling like it's the return of sensor based in-store push offers and messaging and deals. So um it's not just happening in the US, it's happening over there as well. So they're doing this across 50 of their stores in the UK, and they're also tying this to what they call store wrap advertising. Um, so they've got, like kind of like how you have car wraps and those kinds of things. So they're kind of tie this all in with their, screens and their media and the other branding that they have going on in the store. So um, yeah, I don't have a lot more to say about it. Just that the return of these sort of in-aisle offers is fascinating to me. And obviously I'm a big supporter of that. I think it's a great way to try to drive incremental basket size and brand awareness.
Yep. I mean, I just go back to, I think the benefit of maybe having it on the cart is you're not carrying something else around.
Yeah.
But if there's a way to like put it onto the cart or onto the basket while I think that,
Or on your mobile app. If you have the store
yeah,
mobile app
yeah,
and the same offers are being surfaced, notifications on your app, that's fine, right?
yeah.
So
Sticking with retail, but moving out of smart shopping, AI shopping, location-based shopping, Decathlon, the retailer, is promoting, or they did promote World Cleanup Day just a few weeks ago. They were an official partner, and they did something, a campaign, I guess, of sorts called Rentals for Rubbish. And this initiative was offering consumers and, fans of the retailer to save up to 50% on retail rentals and on a range of sports gear in exchange for cleaning up your local area. So their goal was like, let's try to clean up 5,000 pieces of rubbish, as they like to call it, across the UK in partnership with Planet Patrol, and just give a little love to Mother Nature. And so they created like some fun rewards. They had bikes and paddle boards and kayaks and camping equipment, and there was all this to choose from. But basically, you just had to record your efforts in this Planet Patrol app and then dispose of the rubbish responsibly at home or through recycling facilities. And then, like, the more you collect, the greater the discount would be. So for every 10 pieces of litter, you got 10% off. I mean, that's pretty simple to do, right? The discount was up to 50%, and then you bring the collected trash by one of these like Planet Patrol pop-up events that happened, and then you got some sports gear for free. That sounds pretty amazing, right? So, a very cool effort. I like how they integrated, like, hey, doing something good with a discount and also making it timely and time sensitive, right? So, driving people there, chances are you're going to buy something else. And all the proceeds they donated to the charity in aid of water conservation and improvement of green spaces. So, this is a feel good story. I like it.
yeah, it's a really good story. It's a great initiative. Obviously, anything you could do to support the environment and clean up the trash is a good thing. They didn't talk about it in the story itself, so I wonder if there was any social media integration, because I think for me, part of amplifying this message, maybe it's from the Planet Patrol side, would be to really have people post that that they're doing this, they're working on this, and partnering with a brand like Decathlon, I think could drive a lot of good social media positive brand awareness and credit, right? So hopefully that was part of it. I didn't see that in here, but I think that would be a good one. And if they leaned into that, maybe you could also tie it into trying to bring other people from your social network into the initiative as well, and just increase the number of people that are doing this, and that are sharing, and ultimately, just multiplying the awareness of the campaign. I think, a lot could have been done there. I'm not saying none of that happened, because there was just nothing in this particular story about it, but I see a huge opportunity here for this. But great initiative, great story. I love the collaboration, and obviously doing something good. Alrighty, moving on to our final story. So this is an all retail show today. So now we're back stateside, and we're going to talk about Sam's Club, the Walmart version of Costco, is about to open a new store. This is happening it's a pilot store in Grapevine, Texas, part of what's called the Dallas Metroplex. So this is opening very soon, like I think later this week, from what I understand. And it will be the first store in the Walmart Sam's Club, network, to completely eliminate any kind of fixed checkout in favor of app-based shopping and self-checkout. So customers basically will go in and they'll shop and pay for purchases with their scan and go feature within the Sam's Club app. So you have to have the Sam's Club app, and then built into the app is this thing called scan and go. So basically you walk around, you're scanning, the barcodes, you're scanning products. And then, as you shop, you do that, and then you complete the payment and skip the checkout line completely through the mobile app itself. So it's a little Amazon Go like, but obviously, tied into the Sam's Club app here. This is something they've been playing around with since 2018 in their labs, in the innovation store there. So it's not something new to them. And they're also thinking about, for big displayed items. So they give the example of lab grown diamonds. I didn't even know that was a thing you could buy at Sam's Club. Apparently, Brianna, if you need another diamond, you can go to Sam's Club and get one. But Christmas trees, which is coming up very soon around the corner, they'll have on display, and then there'll be QR codes associated with these items, and you can just scan that as well, and then arrange through the mobile app, with the purchase to have home delivery. And then the last thing to mention about this is, as they redesigned this store to be completely cashierless and nobody, sort of working there from that perspective, they've kind of completely reformatted it. So it also has 4 times as much space as a regular Sam's Club store for the fulfillment of curbside and home delivery orders. So they're really optimizing for, just store layout and performance and efficiency of moving people out and through, and, seamless purchase integration, but also, really optimizing for this sort of pickup at curbside or home delivery and those kinds of things. So I think it's an interesting story. I think it's, something that we've been seeing, from a lot of retailers. Obviously, I mentioned Amazon Go. It's funny because, in some categories, I think like these sort of big, super big box stores like this, it works well. In other categories like dollar stores and things like that, perhaps also because of, maybe some of the clientele, from a demographic perspective, it differs. But you've seen some of the dollar store categories and folks that we've talked about have had self-checkout and have completely eliminated that from the store because they're getting too much loss prevention, like too many goods being stolen and not accounted for. So, but I think that's different when you're talking about things like, a Sam's Club type of environment. So overall, I think it's a good move. And, we'll see with the one store where it goes, and maybe they expand it to others. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think you really covered it. It was like it's interesting to see them launching this as we've seen the sunset of this, offering in many places. But I am curious if this application will work better, whether that's because of clientele or just because of the way that these big box stores really work. And the fact that you're buying in bulk a lot of times, maybe there's a different application here. So I think it's definitely one to pay attention to and maybe check back on in a few months.
There you go. Well, that's our show for this week. You've been listening and watching episode number 691 of Location Weekly. We thank you so much for your time. Again, just a quick reminder that we're just a week out now, a week tomorrow. So October the 22nd will be Retail Loco in Atlanta. So we would love to see you there in person for our conference. A lot of great speakers. Just go to thelbma.org, click on events, and you can learn more about that. And for everyone else, thank you so much for listening, watching. We appreciate your time. If you have story ideas, reach out to us. If you have feedback, we'd love that too. And we'll be back next week with another show, probably live from Retail Loco. So tune in for that one. Thanks. See ya. Bye.
Bye.